Of course not, most of them anyway. There was one exception I'll talk about in a minute. You've got a patient sitting in front of you. If you're a psychiatrist, your antennae are already up looking for clues toward a diagnosis. If you're a psychologist, it's not as critical to come up with a diagnosis quickly, but to get a general read on the person. Psychiatrists have answers, psychologists have questions. Sometimes you notice scars, and sometimes you notice how the skin is covered and wonder about scars. On intake, you always check for suicidality, every time. You take a history, and some clues lead you toward disclosures of self-harm. All the time your mind is active, searching, seeking hints and clues, trying out and rejecting one idea after another. Then, based on the forms they've filled out and the answers they've given, and your observations, and any other history available, you make a diagnosis. Third-party payer require it, and discuss a treatment plan with the patient, compassionately, respectfully, as you were trained. At no time does, thinking poorly of the patient, enter into it. Or rarely, anyhow. As soon as I typed that, I remember the guy sent to me on pre-sentence after sexually penetrating his girlfriend's daughter. Age 18 months. I didn't think poorly of him, I hated him as soon as he sat down. I calmed my mind, did some gentle exhales, leaned slightly forward, and asked in a soft tone, "So, what brings you here?" Even now thinking about the guy creeps me out a little. He was wearing very shiny black cowboy boots that are burned into my memory. I honestly admit I had no positive regard for this guy, but I'm pretty sure I did a decent job of faking it. That's once in 30 years. Normally my opinion of a patient doesn't even enter into things very much. You fall back on your training and experience and get into the conversation, and soon discover a unique and irreplaceable human being.